Hey, how's it going? I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and today in Anime Reaction, we watched the 10th episode of Keijo! Stop it. If you want to check out our reaction to the 10th episode of Keijo, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comment section because we love hearing from you.
And as always, if you like what you see, subscribe to Otaku Saga, and don't forget to like and share our videos.
And thanks for watching. So on this episode of Keijo, we get the second bout. The one that you know that they're going to lose because, well, they have to.
Well, first they have to in order to make the final round, you know, winner take all. But you also know because they have to solidify their role as the second string, and God, the bitch from the Eastern School is really fulfilling her villainous role. To put it kindly.
So basically, the long and short of this episode is, you know, they get looked down upon, and then they come out. It looks like they're. I'm just running through it really quick so we can talk about some of the details. But you know, they make it look like they're about to get completely owned, and then they turn the tables on them, knock two of them off, and then.
Great fashion, by the way.
Yeah, the other two. The other two that are left from the other school decide to take the kid gloves off, and there's an epic battle at the end that we will talk about. But ultimately, of course, the second group does have to lose in order to have the bout with the third group. So
gotta have the main character have her moment.
Indeed.
So, recap done with.
Yes. So, first things first, let's talk about that dumbass coach from the dumbass other school.
I can only imagine one other person that I have despised more, and that was Ikki's first opponent in Rocket Keisho no Cavalry.
The Huntsman?
The Huntsman.
Yeah, I agree.
The douchebag. That's the only person that I can see that's worse than this person.
The spoiled, entitled little shit who caused the entire school to cheer for the death of a fellow student. You know, that cocksucker.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
But out of all the antagonists that we have seen throughout our now year of Otaku Saga.
Wait, a year?
Yeah.
God. I felt my life draining away, but goddamn.
I can't see a worse protagonist or a worse antagonist other than that guy, because that guy's just.
I just find that she's a stereotypical enemy team coach type antagonist.
I made the comment before we started the take. Saruga, the opposing school here, is Team Iceland in D2 the Mighty Ducks. They're that overpowered team with a coach that has some vendetta against the protagonist coach. You know, she says, curse that seal, so she calls you Jibe Seal as well. Well, yeah, I'm wondering what their history is, actually.
You know, where she... okay, one of the many areas that she goes wrong is in her actual coaching. She's a bad coach. She literally coaches her girls to play down to their opponent's level. That is setting them up for failure.
Agreed.
Because then you're in for long matches where, you have hard-fought battles against opponents that honestly you should cream.
And like when the only other person that I can equate her to is the antagonistic coach from Ano Kanata no Further. That's the only person that I have in my head, like offhand, that I can equate this to, and that was a better coach. Like, miles better.
Well, you know, I just think that she was a better coach because, you know, she didn't tell her, you know, the person that she was coaching to play around with them, basically.
Yeah, no, they had a set game plan. Granted, that game plan kind of went against the spirit of the sport, but they had a set game plan, a set formula for getting through matches, and they stuck to it. They didn't look down on their opponents. They didn't try to win any underhanded moral victories like Saruga seemed hellbent on doing with Satoichi.
But yeah, the first half, she had far too many lines. She was only on screen for maybe 30 seconds, but that is far too many lines. Actually, no, about a minute. Because right at the beginning, she had this like 30-minute spiel where she's like, "Look at these people. Look, they're all idiots."
Look at them, yeah. And in the same room, like a few feet away.
Yeah, it's not even like they're in a different locker room or anything like that.
It's like they're like at the camera, and they're like, "Look at these idiots."
Yeah.
Or, wait.
Yeah.
Shit.
We hear you.
But yeah, she's just foolish. Like, just straight up foolish.
But
that's no way to run a program.
But I suppose that's just the way that they want to portray it.
They want to make her seem like a bad person, so when she gets her comeuppance, it's more satisfying.
But I don't even think that would be satisfying.
I don't think that she's gonna get that much of a comeuppance. Like, what's the worst thing they're gonna make her do? Apologize?
True. What's the worst thing Setoichi's gonna do when they win?
Like, when the stakes are that low, it's not always necessarily a good idea to set up the antagonist to be like the most hated person in the universe. You know, now if you can give that person equal comeuppance, then it makes it worth it. Like, if for whatever reason, like the person deserved to, not be involved with the sport of Keijo anymore ever.
Now I'm thinking more.
You could have that as comeuppance.
Now I'm actually thinking more along the lines of the third Mighty Ducks movie.
But to be honest, she doesn't deserve to be kicked out of Keijo. She just really needs to.
She needs a bit of an attitude adjustment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to.
She needs to she needs to realize that she's a snooty bitch, and she's really not that much better than anybody else.
Yeah, even if Saruga's won 10 of these East-West wars.
Yeah, no matter what the media tells her.
Yeah, it's really bad. And the media is like.
Oh yeah.
We get that little, I guess, the two reporters again. Oh well, that's over. And the poor. That poor, junior journalist, she's just sitting there like, oh, what's happening? I feel so sorry for her, though. Right? Still. I mean, when she's not getting, physically gagged by her, coworker, she's in that almost kind of sorry state.
Kind of sucks.
It does suck.
But,
anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, now on to the actual match. So, at first, I thought that it was bullshit. When they were basically they ran out and went up against the girls on the opposing team that were their perfect opposites,
and apparently
that were their perfect kryptonite.
Yeah.
So at first I was, if they'd have just knocked them off there, I'd have been like, what fucking horseshit.
Yeah, I thought it was alright, who's the one girl who's obsessed with Mio? Uno momento, por favor.
All together now.
Together now.
I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this.
Can't miss a woman.
It's
crap. I don't.
Sachiko?
No. Oh no, the rabbit girl. Never mind. So I don't see.
Oh, I don't think we have her.
Oops. Oh, well, an update.
She's not that important.
But yeah, the rabbit girl who is obsessed with Mio, I thought it was just like her just running out recklessly.
Yeah, I thought so too. But that's why the first half of the episode kind of turned around for me, because it's like, oh, that's actually pretty clever.
Yeah, that was a clever.
Which is the the type of character that they're really building Alba up to be.
The shrewd strategist.
Yes, the very smart and clever character. So I thought that was okay. And then the part where after they knocked off the first two girls, and then suddenly the other ones are like, oh well, I guess we can go full power now.
This is my final form.
And this is still not even my final form.
Yeah. Not only that, yeah. oh, I guess we can go full power now, and that wasn't even her full power. But basically, she goes from, like, you know, almost kicking Alba's ass there, you know, when they're drawing up to the four corners of the plains. She goes from that to being able to literally just punt that.
Punt None?
No,
the iron ass.
Oh, right.
Asavadra.
Asavadra.
Is that Yuko? Oshima Yuko, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, the East German shot butter. The one that I was expecting when she was sitting cross-legged to have something flop out.
Yeah. Well, you and me both, actually.
But yeah, I mean, she totally just came up and no problems whatsoever.
Yep, whatever.
Game.
Game. Yep. And now it's 2-on-3. It looks like they should have the upper hand, but obviously they don't. I actually enjoyed what happens next. Alba sends the other two to go deal with
the
pixie ass.
Oh yeah,
the fairy ass. Bitch be tripping.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. What's up with that? So she basically she believes in fairies so much that it affects her body.
She believes that they give her strength, and it's a placebo effect.
Yeah, the placebo effect.
But if the placebo effect wears off too many times, it never works.
Still more believable than boob hypnosis.
True.
Speaking of unbelievable, the gates of booty.
The gates of Bootylon.
Gates of Bootylon.
The gates of Bootylon have opened.
So basically, we find out that before the trip, the entirety of the elite class plus the teachers allowed Alba to scan their asses, basically.
The way they went about it, though, just...
and then sticking their butts out through the railing.
Magnificent.
Well, it also brings to question the... we'll get to it. So, long drawn out battle. I love it. I love the little cutscene.
They did, they did keep it interesting. It wasn't just a curb stomping and then we wait for Nozomi's match.
Yeah, that's why I'm not so down on this episode, even though I knew what was going to happen. It's because they're not just like, oh, well, they couldn't do anything. So that makes this team look so much stronger. Because they didn't really do that.
Yeah, I was hoping it would actually come out this way, if any way at all. Because it definitely would have been.
They needed to make it at least a decent fight. Yeah.
But
they can't just make it a full straight-on morphin.
What was the black hair girl's name? I forgot what her name was, but the main girl in the enemy.
I don't know.
No, the main girl on the enemy side.
Oh, the enemy side. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I really don't know, and I really don't care. Because we're probably not really going to see these characters much anymore.
Oh, yeah, the Hime-sama.
Yeah.
She ends up, after realizing that her enemy is using a bunch of butt techniques.
Yeah, basically, that her enemy has 30 different people's worth of butt techniques.
She twists her nipples.
She unlocks her nipples from the sound of it.
No, she cocks her nipples.
Cocks them.
Because that was the noise.
Yeah.
She chambers them.
And then releases them when she strikes, I guess, to add a little bit of a force in there from them unwinding.
Yeah, and proceeds to give Alba a drilling of Gurren Lagann proportions.
So Gurren Lagann versus
versus Fate Stay Night.
The drill to the heavens versus the gates of Babylon.
Well, to be fair, Gilgamesh's ultimate weapon, Ea, the Lance of Subjugation, does look like a drill.
And it in fact does something similar.
Just saying.
I see the irony now.
I like the bit with the rabbit girl basically sacrificing herself to pull the pixie girl
Boing.
down.
I'm taking it with me! Why?
I thought that was, acceptable.
Especially since known immediately, before that happened, jumped in and helped Alba, and then Rabbit Girl, drags Pixie ass down to the water with her, down to Davy Jones. You're coming down with me.
Yeah. You just gave. Why'd you have to put that image in my head, bro?
Tentacles. And then the part where None gets sent flying off the side of the plane, and she strikes it with her foot when she's flying away.
God.
Just trying, just everything.
If they don't show her having a broken ankle, I'm gonna cry bullshit, because holy fuck, that hurt.
Flying that fast and hitting something that solid, I'm surprised it didn't just snap her. Yeah, that should have been a lot nastier of an injury than they showed.
I believe that I said I told a story where we were I think we were watching a Manchu. And I told a story about a friend of mine who was a diver for our swim team, who hit the diving board with the back of his foot. And ruined his senior year swim season. The rest of the year, you're done.
Well, because foot injuries take a long time to come back from.
Yeah, except now None hit something probably harder than a diving board, I imagine, and with less give.
And aluminum, basically in a pretty solid aluminum.
She hit a fucking plane wing.
Yeah,
she did hit a plane wing. Oh yeah, I forgot those were actual planes, huh?
Yes, they are literally sitting on top of two aircraft that can land in the water.
Damn.
But
I like what happened next though, because that whole
because of her
moment
sacrificing her ankle.
Yeah.
Allowed Alba to pull out one more technique.
And also made Purple Nurple Girl, as you said, fire half cocked.
Yep. But came out with the what was it called,
the boob dunk.
Boob dunk, which makes me think back to.
Now all I can think of is what was that basketball game where you went up and it was like camera flashes when you went to do a dunk.
NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA Jam.
Imagine that. Boom shakalaka!
Except that she's dunking her tit.
Boom shakalaka! She's on fire!
Now.
No, that was that one girl that.
Oh, the hot line. That's it. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Next MV Hell, we have to put NBA Jam sound bites to this episode. Like my wife says, not tonight.
But it really does make you think back to the previous flashback where they're where Alba gropes all the asses. She got that technique from a teacher.
Yep.
And it was a boob technique.
Yep.
Just want to put that out there. That was not groping ass.
That's true.
She definitely groped her teacher's boobs.
So I wonder who others' boobs she groped.
Yes.
Well,
she did
not
give
Miata.
Well, here's. Ouch. And why didn't I think of that? But ouch. She did get all that data from massaging everyone in the school, basically.
Well, yeah. She didn't. I don't think that she massaged everyone in the school. I think because it was before they were in the elite class, so I can't remember if they actually did all the members of the elite class or not. But
fair enough.
I also imagine that just one session probably isn't going to copy all of their techniques.
No, but she's had months to pretty much analyze everyone.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that she would probably need to analyze them while they're actually like getting ready to do the technique or something, so that she can see what parts of their body they're tensing and shit like that.
I don't think so, because when the elite class presented themselves, to put it mildly, they weren't on a land or anything. They just stuck their butts out through a railing.
Well, what was mentioned before was because of how her hand works, she can tell the minute differences of what's tense, what's loose, and how the muscles in the ass work.
Right.
Or how the muscles in general, how they...
Yeah, how it all works together. So basically her hand has a degree in kinesiology.
Pretty much.
So.
I mean, her hand apparently is really, really fucking sensitive.
So... Now let's talk about the last moment of the fight, when they both get blown off the land. So they both get blown off the land. They fall in the water at roughly the same time. So naturally, you know that either it's going... No, it wouldn't be labeled a tie, I don't think, ever.
No, not in a best of 3.
But so you know that they're going to do a...
photo finish.
Yeah, photo finish, instant replay...
Goal line review, something.
Yeah.
Some sort of official review.
Yeah, basically an official review of it. And I did like what it did, where it's like, oh, it's going to be a photo finish, and Alba touched the water first or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it shows it, and the other girl disturbed the water first.
And then we're like,
and yeah, it literally in the reaction made me go, whoa, what?
They're doing this?
And then...
and then the bullshit comes out.
At least they made the token effort. I mean, yeah, it was pulled out of the ass.
No,
I probably would have just preferred if it made Alba touch the water first.
I would too.
Maybe just drawn out the drama a little bit more about it, but didn't just have a clear outcome.
Okay, so here's my thing about it. The girl's boob was still giving off force from being spun up. And it went to go touch the water, and the force coming off of the boob, I guess, made a depression in the water. And her boob actually went below the normal water level, but it didn't quite touch the water because of the air pressure between her boob and the water. Yeah. And then Alba touched the water. I would have called it her touching the water first, because she went below the water line.
It'd be like crossing the plane in American football. I mean, your body could be flying out of bounds. When you land, you're going to land out of bounds.
Flying sideways out of bounds and reach your arm in.
But if this is a goal pylon and you reach it around here, if you're not touching the ground and it crosses the plane, it's a touchdown.
Yeah. So
in that same sense, you're saying that...
that's the way that I personally would rule it, but obviously, in here, it's probably is actually if you physically touch the water first.
Yeah, if that's how it's spelled out, then.
If that's how the rules are spelled out, that's how the rules are spelled out. But I don't know. I just find it to be a little bit.
Let's see, who's the two greatest standing ones?
Satsuki and.
We'll take these two.
Okay.
So we'll take this one as Alba, and we'll take this one as what's her face, right? Now the problem that I see with this is the way that they fell was like this. Move your hand.
No,
was like this, right? Not fucking like this.
Right. So basically what they're saying is when she was falling, she had to torque her body while in midair.
Right.
So that her boob came down first and messed with the water level.
So unless she's a contortionist or has a case of scoliosis...
Well, you're not going to be able to do it in midair.
Yeah. I mean,
that's no. In the shot that you saw, where we're like, really?
Yeah,
she lost?
She was upside
Her
down.
head was down.
Her head was the thing that was touching the water first. Then it zooms in, and her boobs down there.
And it zooms out, and all of a sudden, the entire time, she's like this. You know, all contorted with her boobs stretched out.
Well, her boobs stretched straight down, or pointing straight down.
But in the previous shot, her head is falling first.
Yeah, just falling straight up.
If you're gonna do this, the little details matter so much more. So much more. In the first shot, if her boob would have went off like it did, the trajectory of said air would be across the water's surface, not anywhere near where her head was. And thus, I also call loads of bullshit. But that is me thinking way too far into this.
Indeed.
Anime.
We tend to do that with this anime.
We tend to do that with a lot of things. But that's us. It's all about the details.
Once again, they cheated Alba.
Again.
Of course.
Again, they cheated Alba.
She's not the main character.
I swear to God, though. I mean, like, you gotta throw her a bone at some point.
Nope. Nope.
Don't.
The amount of sex jokes that I've thought of in this conversation is astounding. But I'm not. I'll just leave it there. But I mean, well, I know after this, after they get out of school, or after the school arc, they actually go pro. Now I'm obviously hoping that that they continue following the girls, and I hope Alba at least gets a win at fucking some point.
But yeah, I mean, she literally got cheated out of her first victory because of Hypnosis mumbo jumbo voodoo crap.
And then she gets cheated out of this one because of a technicality.
Because of mumbo jumbo booby voodoo crap.
But
boobs don't move in that way.
Body parts don't move in the way that this anime shows them moving. Like those scenes where it shows, like, I think it was from the first episode with Kawaii, where it showed her like looking, and then her ass was contorted around so that she was still facing the camera, but her ass was coming up. Nobody can bend that way.
Anyway.
Well, that's the thing.
She's not a fucking balloon animal.
Well, that's the thing. Well, particularly with you two, you've fallen into the trap of trying to take this anime seriously.
It's just a show. We should really just relax. But anyway, I just feel sorry for Alba. I mean, her face at the end just said it all.
It really did. That was just sheer shock.
Like,
she's
going to be so depressed next episode.
But yeah, Gates of Boudalon, I love it.
Top notch.
And I hope that I caught enough references in this episode, because there was a lot of them. I swear there was a ton of them that we haven't seen before in this series.
It was pretty. Yeah, they done pretty thick. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I didn't catch them all.
So there's your homework. There's your homework assignment, kids. Catch all the references that they made. Oh God.
Anyway, I think that we've gone on long enough about this episode.
Yes, we have.
Next episode will be the beginning of the final battle, probably.
Yeah, got a nice two-parter going.
So, yeah. So let us know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of our reaction in the comment section below.
Yep, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't.
But that's gonna do it for this episode of Anime Reaction. I'm DK.
I'm Zero.
And I'm Rizzo. See you next time.
Go ahead and click on my face to go to our most recent Otaku Saga Talks.
Click on my face to go to Otaku Saga Gaming, our gaming channel.
And click on the waifu to subscribe to Otaku Saga and check out our new and improved Patreon page.